Lewis, Peter Boulware, Rod Woodson, Michael McCrary. Can you identify your offense and tell us what they have to get done today to be successful?
Well, we've got to balance our attack, both throwing the ball and running the ball. They got some people offensively now, too, that are going to the Hall of Fame, so it's going to test our defense.
Well, we heard that the Kangaroo Court was in session this week for players who violated the P-word policy. Can you tell us were there any violators and were there any punishments handed down?
No, this team's focused on one thing, and that's beating the Dallas Cowboys.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Hey, Pat and John, for a team so eager to get back to the playoffs or to get to the playoffs for the first time, you know guys are going to find a way to get around it. One guy says play, the other guy says off, and they leave it up to your imagination from there. Back to you.
I can make playoffs out of that. Yeah. 28 consecutive games without allowing a 100-yard rusher, the longest active streak in the NFL, and there's some of them, and those are some pretty good names when you run down that list.
And today they're going to see a heavy dose of Emmitt Smith, aren't they?
Yep.
This is exciting. This is a great place. This is the first time we've been here, but this stadium and this team and this crowd, this is a lot of fun.
Priest Holmes and Corey Harris back deep for the Ravens, and that's Barry Cantrell.
Kicking his first NFL football.
He was with the Cowboys in training camp. Familiar with the system. If he needs to be, all he has to do really is kick it. I don't know how you get familiar with that system.
I don't know what system you have to have. Just line up 10 yards away from the ball, run at it, and thump it.
And it's a short thump down to the 15 where Corey Harris has it. And Harris breaks about 3 tackles, but you saw the flags go flying by, and this is going to be against the Ravens, I'm sure. Referee is Jeff Triplett.
We all remember Jeff Triplett.
We do.
Especially when you say flags fly in the air.
Number 50, the return team, 10-yard penalty. First down.
One of his flags was an errant flying flag, wasn't it?
Right.
Here's the Baltimore offense up front. Jonathan Ogden, one of the very best. Mulatalo, the rest. And the backs and receivers, Sam Gash at fullback. Jamal Lewis, number 31. Dilfer. Ismail. And let's check out the Dallas defense. The front four, Ellis, Noble, Myers, and Spellman. The linebackers, Coakley, Baron Wortham, Darren Hambrick. And the secondary, Ryan McNeil and Felipe Sparks. The corners, Darren Woodson and Izell Reese instead of George Teague at safety. 2nd and 5. 2 tight ends set up for the Ravens. Dilfer gives to Jamal Lewis. Nothing score. First offensive series for the Ravens. Somehow it seems like you ought to be calling them the Colts, but that hasn't been true in a long time. I'd like to welcome those of you who saw the Vikings beat Carolina 31-17. We're in Baltimore at PSI Net Stadium's 3rd and 1, Baltimore's first possession. Cowboys haven't had the ball yet. Here's Dilfer dropping. Dilfer, Shannon Sharp, first down.
Yeah, that's the thing that we were talking about just a minute ago, that, Trent Dilfer has a lot of confidence, and he has a lot of confidence in Shannon Sharp. And I think that he knows, in fact, he was telling us yesterday, the thing about Shannon Sharp is not only does he get open, but he gets open right when you need him to get open. There are guys that get open before you're ready to throw. There are guys that are open after you throw, but that guy that can get open just as you want to throw is the guy you're looking for, and that's Shannon Sharp.
Sharp has that field. That's Jamal Lewis outside the 40, about the 42.
This guy's an impressive back, isn't he? I mean, he has the whole package. He's big. He weighs 235 pounds, and that's really kind of fullback size. But he has the moves of a halfback, and I mean, he has very good feet, and he has very good speed. And he's a rookie this year, and eventually he's going to be a top back in this league. Jamal Lewis is.
2nd and 2. Baltimore trying for their second first down. And Lewis will get it and more. Rice had to come up with an assist from Ryan McNeil to bring him down, and that's not a good sign.
And most of the time when they run, they're going to run right behind this guy, Jonathan Ogden, one of the best offensive linemen in all of football. I mean, he is so big and so strong. He not only blocks his guy, he just blots him out. And if you can't run in a hole behind Jonathan Ogden, you can't run in a hole.
He's got some wingspan. First and 10 at the Dallas 47. Lewis again, and Lewis again breaks into the secondary. Darren Woodson. The Eagles continue their winning ways and improve their record to 8-4 as they beat Arizona convincingly. Those of you who watched that game, welcome to Baltimore. Dallas and the Baltimore Ravens tied at no score yet, but Baltimore with a pretty good looking drive, 2nd and 3.
The left guard there is Edwin Mulatalo. And the two of them right here, these two guys there make up a heck of a blocking combination. Most of the Ravens' runs will be to that side.
Dilfer looks that way, going deep. Somehow, Ismail came down with it, and it's a Baltimore score. I didn't see the ball. It's good coverage, but the ball got through.
Yeah, it was Felipe Sparks. You see Felipe Sparks is on him. It's man-to-man coverage. He starts to go deep. Now, Quadri Ismail gets to his outside, and the ball is just thrown right over Felipe Sparks' outside shoulder. That's a perfect throw by Trent Dilfer. And you talk about concentration, what a wide receiver has to do. Watch Quadri Ismail. He sees that ball, and he gets both hands up there right over Felipe Sparks' shoulder.
You can't cover much better than that.
And you can't throw much better than that, and I know you can't catch any better than that.
Isn't that the truth? I've often heard, and I'm sure you have, there's no defense for a perfect throw and a perfect catch, and that's a good example.
There was no defense in right there. Look at Trent Dilfer. He knows that. And the first guy you go up to is you go up to your offensive lineman and you thank them for the time they gave you, because they not only gave him time, but you know what the Ravens did on this drive is they started establishing the line of scrimmage with the running game, and they ran and they ran.
Welcome to those of you who saw the Detroit Lions win their 2nd in a row over the New York Giants 31-21. Here's another look at the touchdown. Welcome to the first score of the game.
Welcome to a great catch by number 87, Quadri Ismail. I think we overuse that word, concentration.
Yeah.
But what Quadri Ismail just did there is a definition of concentration.
I think we overuse the word great too, but that was a great catch.
Yeah. And again, I was saying how it all started to me. I always go back to that offensive line. That through the run and the pass protection, they started dominating the line of scrimmage.
And that set the whole thing up. Matt Stover back to kick off for the Ravens. Jason Tucker, number 87, back deep for the Cowboys. Tucker at the 6. Out to the 27, but knocked back to the 25 by Anthony Davis.
Well, that'll knock it up. Open up the old locker. Brian Billick was saying yesterday that this is a game of explosions. And that was it. I mean, he went for it. He ran, went, and then boom, he went for an explosion and got it. And then he just got another explosion right there in that kickoff coverage. They played down in Tennessee. In fact, they beat the Titans down there last week, and the crowd down there was great for the Titans. And Brian Billick was saying he wants the same thing today in Baltimore that they got last week in Tennessee.
And he's asking for it, and so is the rest of his team. Jackie Harris, Aikman back to throw, drops it out to Thomas. And the fullback is dragged down in the flat by Sharper. Here's the Dallas offense. Up front, it's Adams, Allen, Stepnoski, Page, and Eric Williams. Some doubt about whether Page would make it or not. Tucker, Emmitt Smith, Robert Thomas, David LaFleur, the tight end, and James McKnight, who's really come on.
Flozell Adams is going to have his work cut out with him for him over there on that left side with Michael McCrary, number 99. This guy right here is a heck of a pass rusher.
Aikman starts the man in motion. Hands to Emmitt Smith, and there is nothing there. Siragusa was the first man to make contact. Let's look at the defense.
They're still playing there. There's still some football to be played down in there.
Wayne McGarity looks out of place in there, doesn't he? Here's the Baltimore defensive line, McCrary, whom John just mentioned, Siragusa, who just made the tackle, Adams and Burnett. Three outstanding linebackers, Sharper, Lewis, and Peter Boulware. McAllister and Starks the corners, Woodson and Herring the safety. 3rd and 6. Passing down for Aikman. Let's see if the Ravens blitz. They do it mostly with the front four, and Aikman gets it out of there. Bounces off the hands of Chris Warren, and the Cowboys will have to punt.
That's perfect Raven defense. You know, they're so tough against the run, and they're very tough inside. I mean, they have that triangle inside. They have Siragusa in there, Sam Adams, who's playing great, Ray Lewis in there. They don't give anything in there in the middle. You try and run, then they get you in 3rd and long, give you the heavy pass rush, good tackling, swarmed everything.
Barry Cantrell back to punt, number 10. Jermaine Lewis. First punt of his NFL career, off the side of his foot. Lewis dancing and finds some daylight. Dragged down by Izell Reese. 7-0 the Ravens lead, 9:28 left in the first, and they look impressive so far. You would have needed that many arms to cover Quadri Ishmael, wouldn't you? Dilfer's pass is caught by Priest Holmes out of the backfield.
You know, didn't Trent Dilfer seem like a different guy yesterday? And, you know, we had seen him all those years down at Tampa Bay, and it was always like something bad was going to happen to him right around the corner. And, and yesterday you just had a feeling of true confidence, and he seems a heck of a lot more comfortable doing what he's doing here.
Got a much better supporting cast, I think, than he ever had on offense in Tampa.
Jonathan Ogden. I mean, he is so big. He's like 6'8", 340 pounds, and he kind of pulls. Watch him. You're going to see him right here, number 75. But just watch how he pulls. And when he gets on a guy right there and then starts going up the field, guys just go to the ground.
5-yard penalty. Result of the play.
I was watching him at practice yesterday, looking at him. He's so big.
I know it. That's what I said. I mean the guy's 6'8", 340 pounds, and he's not a fat guy. And guys just tumble down. The penalty was right there, number 47, Ryan McNeil, for a face mask at the end of the play. But I mean, that left side of this offensive line is impressive.
Here he is again, behind Ogden. Brandon Noble made the stop. Jack Del Rio. Tampa Bay lost to the Bears. All-Star Lynch went out with injuries. Detroit beat the Giants 31-21. Charlie Batch 3 touchdown passes. The Raiders beat New Orleans 31-22. Jeff Blake fractured and dislocated his right foot. He's out for the rest of the year. 2nd and 7. Dilfer moves sharp, splits him out a little. Lewis again.
They're working that left side, aren't they?
Are they ever?
And you know, and you say you would. I mean, the other guy that I was talking about, Edwin Mulatalo, he's a left guard here. He's only a second-year guy, but he's 340 pounds too. So you got like 680 pounds a guy blocking over here. So where are you going to run? I mean, they are dominating that side. I know it's just early in the first quarter, but everything they're doing is running left behind these two guys. Look at this. 5 times pass for 44 yards already.
Lewis straight ahead this time into the secondary and brought down finally. Izell Reese and Greg Myers brought him down.
Cowboys are going to have to get Darren Woodson. I mean, the only answer that I can see is put Darren Woodson up on their right side, the offensive left side, to help out there. I mean, he's the only guy that can help out because they're just getting manhandled right here.
Then if you do that, your corners go man on man, and
yeah, I'd let my corners go man on man. I mean, they gotta stop the stuff that's going on right here.
Priest Holmes is the deep back this time. And they go the other way for a change, but cut it back this way.
They come right back.
Yeah.
Jamal Lewis knows because we were talking about the guy that is big and strong, and this is what it looks like from the umpire cam. And we see that Priest Holmes is going to start to his right and then cut right back to this side. You try and get in again behind Jonathan Ogden.
Second and 5. Fake a reverse. They give it to Priest Holmes again.
You just can't keep your eyes off of Jonathan Ogden.
That's
I mean,
right.
I don't mean, when he fires out, again, the 6'8", he just knocks his guy, who's Greg Ellis. I mean, he just knocks him right off the line. And then there has to be a soft spot as you start there.
Does he have any pads on?
I don't know, but just watch him right here. I mean, just the first thing that he hits, stuff just flies backwards. Watch. I mean, he hits him, and he goes like 3 or 4 yards backwards.
Jamal Lewis back in the game, 3rd and 3. Dilfer's going to throw it. Batted away, deflected, incomplete.
That's what the Cowboys needed. They needed just any kind of play. I mean, here they got a bat, and now they're going to have to go for a field goal. But they needed something because they hadn't been able to stop anything. And here, that's Alonzo Spellman. See what they tried to do? They tried to cut him on the line of scrimmage. And they're trying to throw the slant to that side. Now, Alonzo Spellman knows after you come out of the cut, you go down, and the next thing you do is you go up.
Matt Stover for a field goal. If the Cowboys get out of this with just a field goal, it's a moral victory. 25 yards away, and it's 10-0. Baltimore lead. .506 left in the first quarter. Baltimore 10, Dallas nothing. I didn't know you owned the Ravens.
I'll tell you, after those first 2 drives, I wouldn't mind having a hook.
Which I did, yeah.
And after coming into this stadium and then seeing this team and these fans and stuff, maybe I'll talk to Art Modell about that after the game.
Mr. Modell came up to say hello before the game started. This is Jason Tucker.
Art Modell, one of the pioneers.
Great man. 10-0. The Ravens lead the Cowboys. Here's Art Modell on the left, just handing the napkin to his acquaintance.
Well, there's the guy we set up to see if we can get a piece of the team.
Yeah.
But look at this. Art Modell is everywhere. We see him up in the booth. Now we go down to the sideline, and Art Modell.
Somebody's calling him.
Someone's calling him down there to the sideline.
Hey.
Art's waving to as many fans around the world.
2 tight ends set up for Dallas. Here's Aikman back to throw, and up the middle, Tucker. Close to a first. Rod Woodson made the stop.
And that's the thing we were talking about. You know, that it's not going to be easy running in there. In fact, so far, the Ravens have run for 71 yards. The Cowboys have -2.
That's one of the reasons it's not so easy running.
The Goose in there, and then Ray Lewis behind them, and Sam Adams next to him. But they have to be able to pass the ball because they're going to have a tough time with this triangle right in the middle.
McKnight wide to the left. The handoff is to Emmitt Smith, who cuts around the corner. The right right now for a game break. Let's go to Los Angeles and James Brown.
Hey, Pat and John, questionable whether Eddie George was going to play today. Guess what? 3 touchdowns on the day. Here's one of them. And despite 7 turnovers by Tennessee, they go on to beat Cleveland 24-10. Pat, as I throw it back to you, I'm sorry I can't say like Terry Bradshaw last week. I'm not a neighbor, but I love you too, buddy.
Wow, that's long distance, but that's nice.
Yeah, you see that Eddie George scoring the 3 touchdowns today. Last week he didn't do anything against this Raven defense, and great backs usually don't have bad games back to back.
Emmitt Smith again up to the 40, stopped by Kim Herring, the safety man.
Yeah, but he was also stopped by Ray Lewis. You know, we were talking about that triangle, you know, where you have the 2 tackles here and the middle linebacker, and they're going to stuff everything in here. You see, they just take that middle. Siragusa takes the double team. Sam Adams takes on a guy. In fact, what they say they do is they eat up blockers. These 2 guys, here's the triangle right here. These 2 tackles and the middle linebacker right there, they form that triangle in the middle, and it's darn near impossible to run in there.
3 wide receivers for the Cowboys, and Aikman drops. With time, he drops it over to Chris Warren, who doesn't quite get the first down. Just a little bit short, Ray Lewis. And you don't move it that way very far when you're hit by Ray Lewis.
And Ray Lewis is a heck of a tackle. You know, and he says the thing that you do is you just concentrate and you just square up and you just look at their belly button and run right through them. And watch him do that to Chris Warren right there. I mean, the minute that he hits him, boom, he has not taken one more step forward.
Jermaine Lewis back deep for the Ravens. Barry Cantrell to punt for Dallas.
And that's another one of the reasons that the Ravens are #1 on defense, is that they're all very good tacklers.
Yeah, they sure are. Cantrell's kick is high. Fair catch signal forward made at about the 17-yard line, where the Ravens will take over. 1:55 left in the first. Ravens on top of the Cowboys by 10.
Where I just circled there, on those billboards, that was where Babe Ruth was born. This is a room.
Was Babe born in that room?
Yeah, he was born right there in that room.
The old sewing machine over in the corner.
Yep, and they kind of made a museum out of it now. In fact, we took some pictures there yesterday, and they found Super Bowl V, the Super Bowl trophy of the Baltimore Colts from Super Bowl V was down in the basement.
Dilfer gets it to Jamal Lewis. Yeah, you can argue about who's the best athlete of all time. Go ahead, John.
There's the building again. Yeah. No, I was just saying, and that's the door. I was in that door. You know, you go up a little stoop there, and that's where Babe Ruth was born.
And down in the basement, that's the trophy the Colts won, Baltimore Colts, in Super Bowl V when they beat the Cowboys. Jim O'Brien, remember that name?
Yes, I do. Yeah, he kicked the field goal to win the game.
Yep. There's Lewis again. He's not only big, but fast, and a flag comes in. That's going to be about the only way it looks like they're going to stop him from running left.
From running to that side, and as you say, the key thing with Jamal Lewis is he is big, and he is fast, and he is quick. He was the 5th player taken in the draft, and some people thought that maybe that was a little too high for him.
83, offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Patrick Johnson, the guilty party.
Yeah, you see, he's a wide receiver blocking out here. That's not a bad block here for a wide receiver, but watch the way this line moves here. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, they all move in unison, and boom, and they're all big guys, and they're all strong guys, and when they make contact, all the other guys fall down.
All of a sudden,
it's like Rosie Posey.
Rosie Posey.
Pocket full of Posey.
All fall down. Yeah, I remember that. That's Jason Priest Holmes. I'm sorry.
They're just whipping him there. You know, I was talking about Edwin Mulatalo, he went to my high school, and he's a home guy, but he weighs 340 pounds, and he's only in his second year here, but he is a big, strong, powerful guy. And he just gets his left shoulder, and those guys just go right down.
When we found out he went to Daly City High School, I knew he was going to get a lot of airtime.
Right. A lot of airtime, and he's going to be on the All-Madden team, too.
Here's Lewis again. They move the whole stack backwards.
Because he not only went to Jefferson High School in Daly City, but he was a student body president there. I just went there.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score of the Ravens 10, the Cowboys nothing. Fox NFL Sunday from Baltimore will continue after these messages. Those are area high school coaches who've just been honored. And high school coaches have a great influence on the youth that they're associated with.
And a great influence on all these players that play here. They all start at some place, and it's usually in high school, and I don't think that we give back enough to our high school.
Trent
Great that
Dilfer.
we're honoring them here.
Dilfer lofts it down the side, and it's caught but out of bounds. Priest Holmes came down with it out of bounds. Dilfer had all kinds of time.
Well, I think we talked about the domination. I mean, the first quarter, the offensive line of the Ravens just dominated that line of scrimmage. And then once you get the line of scrimmage dominated, that means that you're also going to be able to pass protect. And he had all that time, and you just see Priest Holmes caught that ball. He was out of bounds. But as you said, he had plenty of time to throw it.
3rd and 1. Alonzo Spellman jumped into the backfield, pointing at the offensive lineman in front of him, saying he jumped.
False start.
And he did
71
jump.
offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Falau.
Spencer Falau, he's starting there at that right tackle for Harry Swain. Remember, Harry Swain pulled a hamstring last week, and he's not active today. Falau's playing that right tackle, which is the away side from where they've been running all day today.
3-man front for Dallas as Dilfer goes back. The blitz is on. The pass is complete to Shannon Sharp. And they pick up the first down in Dallas territory all the way to the 43.
Yeah, and Trent Dilfer feels real good about this one because as you said, the blitz is on, and you watch it, he's going to get the pressure here. And here's the guy that he's going to look for, Shannon Sharp. He feels the pressure. They do a good job of picking up the blitz. He knows that there can't be anyone underneath in the middle, so he could just look. And the first thing he sees is number 82, and boom, he goes right there to him.
82, Shannon Sharp put a heck of a move on Darren Woodson.
Shannon Sharp, over an 11-year career, has put a heck of a move on a lot of guys.
He just did it again. Here's Dilfer. Lewis again. Couldn't find room on the left. Tried the right. Didn't find any more room over there.
Well, they're finally getting it plugged up over there a little. That was the first time that there were any white jerseys left on or around the line of scrimmage when the ball got there. The big thing you see, that they're doing stuff like this now. I mean, they're getting the blitzes, they're getting guys in there because they couldn't just sit back there. I mean, they can't sit in there in their standard defense. They're just getting blown out.
They did what you said. They had Darren Woodson come up with support quickly. Lewis hit by Darren Hambrick first.
Darren Hambrick better just get back in the huddle and be quiet. I mean, they haven't been doing that well on defense.
Don't want to get them riled up.
And you'll see the protection in here in the middle of the line. See, they just keep everyone away from Trent Dilfer, and then just give him a clean pocket. That's what a quarterback is looking for, is a clean pocket where he can step up with his left foot and step either forward or to either side and have a clean footing.
Shannon Sharp's the man on the move. Dilfer drops. Here comes the rush. And the screen pass is complete to Jamal Lewis. Right now, let's send you back to Los Angeles and James Brown for a game break.
Pat and John, take a look at Allen Rossum on this kickoff return for the Green Bay Packers. This taking place in the fourth quarter, giving Green Bay the winning score as Green Bay holds on to upend Indy by the score of 26-24. Let's take it back to Pat and John.
As a must-win for the Packers. This is a must-win for Dallas if they hope to be around for playoff time. High kick. Garrity back to make the fair catch and makes it at the 10. .11:57 left to play in the first half. It's 10-0. Trent Dilfer banged his right hand on a helmet.
Yeah, you can see it's a hand right here of Greg Ellis. You see as his hand goes through, Greg Ellis's right hand comes up, and they meet just as Trent Dilfer lets the ball go.
First and 10 at the 10. Emmitt Smith to the 14.
Syracuse is a funny guy, isn't he? He's a fun guy and a funny guy and a good player. And we're talking about guys who, we just throw around weights like 340 and it means nothing anymore, but he's a 340-pound defensive tackle, and like underneath those shoulder pads in that jersey, what do you think he wears?
I have no idea.
Well, it's a T-shirt, but what kind of T-shirt you think a big old goose would wear?
A big one. Picked off, intended for McKnight.
I'll show you what it is. I saw it in the pregame warm-up. Look at him. This is the way a big 340-pound guy comes downstairs.
Sideways like that?
Yeah. Mickey Mouse T-shirt. He was out in the field. It was real cold before the pregame warm-up. He was out there for 2.5 minutes.
He's listed at 340. I think that's a very, very conservative estimate.
There's my man, the goose, going right back in.
3rd and 5. McGarity in motion. Aikman back to throw it. McKnight had it and lost it. Dwayne Starks.
Well, the Cowboys just can't get anything going offensively, but one thing, for Cowboy fans to know is that the Ravens don't score a heck of a lot of points, and they are letting them stand in there, and they'll do that.
That's good defensive play by Starks. He got his hand in there and knocked the ball away.
Right at the end, yeah. But you just play, and with the way they call pass interference today, that's a very delicate thing.
It sure is.
Did.
And Trell to punt it again. Jermaine Lewis. Good coverage. The Ravens will start near midfield. Baltimore 10, Dallas nothing. This, of course, is where the Star-Spangled Banner was written by Francis Scott Key. Dilfer drops. Gets away and runs. Hit as he went out of bounds, knocked the ball loose by Ecubon.
They're starting to get a little. If I were Ecubon, I would just get back in the huddle. I mean, you guys haven't done anything yet to get all pumped up about yourselves. Yeah, that's one thing that I love football, and I love emotion and passion and playing hard and all that stuff. But chesting and jousting when you're down 10-0 doesn't do it for me.
Especially not when you're in front of the opponent's bench.
No, and if you're over here, take on this guy. If you want to do some, whip up right here. Let's see what you do now. That's the important thing. Now's the important time to do it.
Here comes Lewis, breaking into the secondary and wrestled down by Isaiah Reese again.
Now there's a great one, Johnny Unitas, huh?
The great John Unitas.
The fans see him. The fans love him here in Baltimore.
He has never looked, to me, quite right since he doesn't have a crew cut.
The crew cut and the black high top
shoes.
You know, Rich Dalrymple was telling me, the Dallas PR guy was telling me a story about Johnny Unitas, who's always been his hero. In fact, his dad played with him. Rich's dad played with Johnny Unitas, and he said...
In high school.
Right. It was in some semi-pro thing after high school, too. But he said they were in the locker room. There was a story about the Colts are in the locker room. They're getting ready for a big game, and so they're going to have the captain's talk. So they have the captain talk, and the defensive captain, he talks first. He's going, yeah, we got to go get him. We got to get in. And Johnny Unitas leaning up against the door, and they say, okay, Johnny, what do you have to say? And he said, talk's cheap. Let's go play. That's Johnny Unitas.
DJ's with John Unitas right now. Let's go down to DJ.
That's right, Pat. I'm with the legend himself. And Johnny, big Ravens fan, I assume. What do the Ravens have to do you think, to get to the playoffs?
So they got to win them all. They've got a fairly easy schedule. Cleveland next week and Arizona, I think, after that. And I think the last game's with the Jets, and I think that's probably going to be the toughest game. But they have the capability getting that far, I think.
But being a master of the offense yourself, what do you think was happening to the Ravens when they went through that offensive drought?
God only knows. I don't know what was going through their mind. They just weren't doing the things that they're probably capable of doing. And things happen like that. You can start to worry about them, and they just, one thing happens, another thing happens, those kind of things. You just have to keep working on it and play through it.
If that happens again, they might have to suit you up. I appreciate it. Thanks.
I hope not.
Back to you, Pat.
Johnny Unitas
says, talk's cheap, just go play.
He was the most unpredictable quarterback I think I've ever been around.
Watch Sam Gash point here. See, he's the fullback. He's telling Jamal Lewis where to run. He pointed to the side that he's going to want you to run to that side because that's the side that he's going to lead to. And sometimes he'll get up there and he'll just say, check with me. The play call in the huddle is check with me. And then they go up there and they read the defense and they decide which side to go to.
Woodson left the field for Dallas. Place is taken by Greg Myers. McNeil came down with the ball intended for Ismail, but incomplete. I started to say Unitas was, you talk about, coaches talk about tendencies, and in 3rd and 2 they'll do this, and 2nd and long they always do this. There was no book on him. You had no idea.
And he was a definition of a true field general, because that was back in the day where the quarterback not only did all the playing like they do today, but also called the play.
Right. 2nd and 10. This is Priest Holmes. For a game break, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, fellas, in a dogfight between two squads with only 2 victories, in the closing seconds, it was Adam Vinatieri coming up with a 22-yard field goal to boot New England to victory by 3 over Cincinnati. Back to Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Patriots improved to 3-8. Pepe Zellner is the injured Dallas player.
Yeah, you can see him right there, number 93. See, he's playing his guy, and then it's his right leg gets caught up under the pile. That's where so many injuries happen, where you're in front of something, and then the pile rolls up behind you. There's nothing you can do about that. And then remember Darren Woodson, he's right there. And you're going to see him come up here to tackle Jamal Lewis. And he went right down there and he grabbed his right side.
Here's Dilfer in from behind. Dilfer is caught by Demetrius Underwood.
I was talking to Andre Patterson, the defensive line coach, the defensive tackle coach of the Cowboys, and he was saying that Demetrius Underwood was going to play more today, and he said, watch him. He said, because he's going to be something special. He said that he has strength, he has quickness, and we moved him from outside as an end to inside as a tackle. He hasn't played in a long time, but he thinks he can make some plays.
Really hasn't played football since 1997.
Yeah, on a regular basis.
Woodson is being taken into the locker room for x-rays on his right forearm, which obviously he injured while making that tackle a moment ago. Baltimore 10, Dallas nothing. 9:05 left in the first half. Pat Summerall, John Madden.
Dallas has only had 10 plays so far on offense and only gained 29 yards.
Aikman with pressure. Intended for James McKnight tonight on a new episode of the X-Files. Agent Scully and her new partner confront a creature so terrifying their first case together could be their last one. Catch the X-Files tonight at 9/8 Central on Fox.
Dave Campbell's thinking, what do we have to do? I mean, he's trying to run, and Emmitt Smith has carried 4 times for 8 yards. There's nothing there. Their longest play has been an 11-yard pass, and they just tried to go deep.
That was their only first down. Here's Aikman. Pass caught by McGarity. And that's their second first down.
Yeah, we look at Darren Woodson again, and the injury is to his right arm. He's going up there. He misses the tackle here, and Jamal Lewis, and you see it hit right there.
Just below the knee.
Yep. It was on that initial hit, I would say. And
Where it has to
they
be.
took him in, and they're x-raying the right arm.
First and 10 Dallas. This is Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt gets about 4.
They know that Emmett's going to cut back, and that's what he does so well. Usually he starts to the right and cuts back to the left. That time he started to the left and cut back to the right, and that's the first little air that Emmitt Smith has seen today.
2nd and 7. Jackie Harris just checked in. Eric Williams motioning in the other direction.
Jackie Harris right here, the pass receiving tight end for the Cowboys.
Here's Aikman back to throw it. Here comes somebody after him. Gets rid of it through the hands of Emmitt Smith.
And you're right. I think that did go right through the hands of him. I mean, watch this. Troy Aikman throws that ball out there to Emmitt Smith. Right through the hands, huh? Emmitt Smith didn't have a good game last week. In fact, he had a bad game. And most great running backs, and I said this earlier about Eddie George too, most great running backs don't have back-to-back bad games.
Tucker comes in motion. Here's the blitz. They pick it up pretty well. And Aikman guns it to McKnight. And the Cowboys creep close to midfield.
And if Troy Aikman has a go-to guy anymore, it is McKnight. And you're going to see McKnight, he's right here. And you just watch, he's just going to come up, he gets bumped, and then he keeps working. That's a heck of a throw by Troy Aikman.
It sure is.
Because McKnight was bumped all the way up the field, and he just turned around to go back inside, and the ball was stuck right on him.
Caught it in self-defense almost.
That's what they say. The quarterback can stick him, and Troy Aikman stuck McKnight.
They're blitzing again. Aikman gets it out. Pass complete and the flag on the play. This is McKnight again.
Ooh, and that's not the kind of hit that Aikman could take either.
He was slow getting up.
And that's looked a lot like the Tony Bracken's hit. That was Ray Lewis on him. And he gave him the same kind of hit that Tony Bracken's did that injured his back.
I'm not sure what this penalty is.
Contact, 22 defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He motioned against Dallas first. There's the hit.
It was the same type of hit that got him before. And here's the penalty. That's on Dwayne Starks, number 22. He just grabs and holds there. Now, if the ball were in the air, it would be pass interference. If the ball's not in the air, it's holding. And again, watch Ray Lewis come in here and unload on Troy Aikman just as he throws the ball.
A good throw under pressure. And I mean pressure.
You know, we talked to Troy Aikman yesterday, and he said his back was feeling better. It didn't look real good, though, but he didn't get a shot for this game. Last week he had the shots to play, and he felt well enough on Monday and Tuesday that he didn't get any shots this week.
1st and 10 at the Baltimore 35. Aikman drops. Has time. Gets it to Thomas. No gain.
Now those are the passes that almost aren't worth throwing, are they? When you, I don't know how you draw up a pattern where a guy runs for no yards. Somewhere that
it's a waste of time.
He has to get some depth. They haven't sacked Troy Aikman yet. They've hit him 3 times. A big one being that last one by Ray Lewis, and he's been hurried 2 times. But one thing, this offensive line of the Cowboys isn't doing a bad job of pass protection.
When they get to Aikman, it's by blitz. And here comes a blitz again. Aikman has some time, and the pass is caught by McGarity.
Aikman is still one of the most accurate quarterbacks in football. People say that he ought to do this, he ought to retire, he has the concussions, he has it back, but if he's feeling well, he can still zing that ball and put it on a guy as well as anyone.
Give him time, and he'll cut you to pieces. Protection in the last 2 or 3 games has been improving.
And you see that thing in the back of Troy Aikman's jersey, that dirt there? That's one sight you don't need on number 8. Mud on the back of his jersey.
Eric Williams retreated early. Flag on the play.
Prior to the snap, false start, 79 offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
That's what Dave Camper was saying last night. We don't need any stupid penalties. And what you try and do is you try and give a hard count to help your offensive lineman. You give a hard count, and then your own offensive lineman jumps.
And he said you'll only see it once if we do it.
He said if we jump on a hard count, we're not going to do any more hard counts.
Siragusa over on the sideline.
Yeah, Siragusa only plays the run. The Goose isn't a big pass rusher. He only plays run defense and then lets those other guys go in there and tee off on the passer.
Boulware chases Aikman out of the pocket, and down he goes.
I thought he had time there to throw the ball. He felt some pressure from the left side that really wasn't there yet. Watch him go back, and he's going to feel pressure from here. Watch him look. He's going to look back right there. And
Adams.
And somewhere I think he could have thrown that ball. See, if we just get it now, he's ready. And you see, this is when he's ready to throw. This is what he's looking at, and he doesn't see anyone open.
And the Cowboys, with about 8 yards to go, are going for it on 4th down. Aikman doesn't like the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Pass is incomplete. Intended for McGarity. Picked off. Intercepted by Rod Woodson. He had never intercepted Aikman before in his career.
Yeah, Rod Woodson has so many interceptions against so many quarterbacks, and he gets his first one against Troy Aikman on a 4th down pass.
It's 10-0. Rod Woodson, standing in the back of that picture, has intercepted 34 different quarterbacks, and that was his first off Aikman. The cornerback for the Steelers for a long, long time. Then were the Raiders. Now here is the safety man.
And that was his 58th career interception.
Lewis. He is big and strong, no question about that. Right now, let's go down to D.J. Johnson.
Yeah, Pat, I talked to Rod last night about not having intercepted Aikman so far. I was a teammate of Rod for a long time, so I was there for a lot of his 58 interceptions. I asked him about having not intercepted Troy. He said, hey, my time is ticking down. He's very jokingly about it. He said, my time is ticking down. I have to get Troy sometime soon. No better time than today. Rod got his. Now he goes for another one. Back to you, Pat.
All right, DJ, thank you. The handoff is to Lewis.
I still go back to that fourth down play, and I mean, it's fourth down, and if you're going to throw a pass, you have to throw it beyond the first down mark. I mean, still believe that.
That's logical.
If you decide to go for it on fourth down, throw it to someone that, if they catch it, it's going to be a first down. I mean, he throws it to someone that if they catch it isn't going to be a first down and it's intercepted. And to go for that, they turned down a 50-yard field goal. I could see that. I could see going for it on fourth down, but I couldn't see throwing it to the shortcut. I mean, if you're going to force something in on fourth down, force it at least deeper.
3rd and 1. Lewis going to have the first. This Thanksgiving, it's a Fox NFL special as the NFC Central leading Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys square off in their holiday tradition. All begins with JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris on America's favorite pregame show at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. When are you getting to Dallas for the festivities?
I'll leave tonight, right after the game. We got the bus out there all fired up.
Got turkey on it?
Well, no, we're working on the turkeys. We're working on the turkeys and getting them worked up, but we'll have them when we get down to Dallas. We get down to Dallas on Monday. Then we got pretty quick trip. Then we got some carving and chopping and stuff to do.
Dilfer on the back sets it. Shannon Sharp. One man to beat. And Sharp is scoring a touchdown for the Ravens.
Says he has pretty good protection. He feels a little pressure there, and he's looking up the middle. Now he knows that the Cowboys like that two deep defense where the safety's deep, and the area to throw it is in the middle.
Dilfer to Sharp, and it's 17-0 with just over 2 left in the first half.
Yeah, if we watch that touchdown again, here's Shannon Sharp here. Now what they do is they put both tight ends deep, and they put the pressure on this safety. He looks this way, and Dilfer throws it right here to Shannon Sharp. Watch as they both come off, and you can see they're both deep. On the side, they split the safety, and Trent Dilfer throws a perfect pass to Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp is a heck of a receiving tight end.
He really is.
He's one of the best that's ever played.
Jason Tucker. Tucker weaves his way out to the 35. I'm glad you said receiving tight end because he's not big on blocking.
Yeah, but he can do it. He can catch the short, the medium, and the deep.
Yep. Heck of a player. Who's got the best short game? Fred Couples, Lee Trevino, Nancy Lopez, Roger Clemens, and some of the world's top sharpshooters from the PGA, the LPGA, and Senior Tour try to find the cup for $1 million payday. The Sun Microsystems Par 3 Challenge, Thanksgiving Day at 1:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, here on Fox. That's a fun event.
I say Lee Trevino. Does he still have a good short game?
Yes. Yes, he does. Chris Warren. Ball is there. Just got information that the X-ray machine here at the stadium apparently is not functioning, so they've taken Darren Woodson to the hospital for a look at his what appeared to be his right forearm.
Right, and I would think that the doctors just looking at what it is would have to think that there's really something there to take him to the hospital.
Here's Aikman. Chased, and Warren makes the catch this time, and down he goes. Look at the Ravens converge around that ball.
And that's the thing that they do. I mean, they not only tackle well individually, as we just saw there, but they swarm. I mean, there's always going to be, if you look on every white jersey, there's always going to be about 4 or 5 Raven jerseys.
This is a Baltimore timeout. Dallas Cowboys, in fairness, have had a lot of injuries. The injured starters include Joey Galloway in the opening game, Ishmael, Chad Hennings, George Teague, Leon Lett, Micah Noor, the punter, and now Darren Woodson. He is, well, he's a guy you almost can't replace, Darren Woodson.
Well, he's their best player, and he's the guy that plays the most plays. And last time we did a Cowboy game, we were talking about that I don't know if they've ever done this, but if you counted up the number of plays that any player plays, I bet no one plays more than Darren Woodson, because he's in on all the defensive plays plus half the special teams play.
Right.
He's on the field more than anyone.
3-man rush. Aikman has some time. Gets it to McKnight. The Ravens have not missed a tackle so far today, and that's something we've often said is missing from pro football today. Good tackling. Barry Cantrell back in punt formation for the Cowboys. Jermaine Lewis deep for the Ravens. Short kick, fair catch. Ravens will take over to 21. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have scores and highlights from around the league. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats, all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
And Terry Bradshaw could really be fired up about Trent Dilfer, because this morning he did a report on him, he did a feature on him, and then said that he's his favorite player, the only player that he really likes in football, and that he can throw the deep ball. And in the first half here, Trent Dilfer's thrown for 2 long touchdown passes.
And he drops again. Throws up the middle to Priest Holmes.
Old Terry will be sitting there at halftime telling all those other guys, I told you guys.
I told you.
I told you so. What did I tell you guys? Huh?
Clock just over a minute. Dilfer drops the throw. Has time and drops it out to Priest Holmes again. Holmes taken down.
I tell you, that Priest Holmes and Jamal Lewis are a heck of a combination.
They really are, aren't they?
They and that offensive line have been doing a heck of a job by this Cowboy defense.
Timeout taken by Baltimore. 56 seconds left to play in the first half. Baltimore 17, Dallas nothing, 2nd and 2, and the Ravens trying for more.
The Cowboys are in a form of prevent here.
Dilfer has time and fires deep, and pass is picked off. That's Felipe Sparks. Sparks gets out to the 40, and the Cowboys will take over that.
And that's a tough pass to throw into a prevent. Everyone says the prevent, the only thing it prevents you from winning, but sometimes it does work. And that time they were all back there. Felipe Sparks could see the whole play. Trent Dilfer threw right into it. But this, you see how Felipe Sparks is back there? They almost have the thing doubled, and you can't throw that pass into that pass coverage.
Now, if you're Dallas, what's your approach?
I would, yeah, you got to get something on the board. I mean, the first thing I would think of is to try and pick up, a couple 10 yards and 10 yards, because they still have all their timeouts.
At least
and then get in field goal position. That would be my first goal, get in field goal position.
Aikman outside quickly. That's McGarity, gets away from one tackler. That might be the first missed tackle.
That's the first missed tackle, and it was Rod Woodson who missed it. Rod Woodson who got the interception. And the Baltimore Raven defense that hadn't missed a tackle yet this first half was just missed right there by Rod Woodson.
McGarity didn't quite get the first down in spite of the missed tackle. 2nd and 1. He just hasn't got time to throw anything deep. Aikman dumps it. Chris Warren, and Warren, another missed tackle.
Right, and they're close to a field goal position right now, because if they're at the 35-yard line, right now it would be a 52-yard field goal.
Timeout, Dallas. Dallas coming up on the Visa halftime report. Again, a reminder, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have scores and highlights from around the league, and our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
And that's why you like to save your timeouts. You hate to waste a timeout early in the game or in the third quarter of a second half because you need them for this type of situation here. And now because the Cowboys still have 2 of their timeouts, they can pass the shorter pass. They can throw the ball in the middle and use their timeouts. If they didn't have any timeouts, then they'd have to try and get a first down, spike the ball, get the ball out of bounds, those kinds of things.
Tim Cedar, who scored the touchdown against Cincinnati last week, with a new holder. Cantrell will be a holder if they do get close enough to try a field goal. Here's Aikman back. McCrary brought him down. 24 seconds left.
I think they were close enough right then because it would have been a 52-yard field goal, but they're going to lose that. McCrary is going to come from Troy Aikman's left side. Troy Aikman didn't take much of a drop there, though. I mean, he took a short drop. He tried to throw to his left, and then he had to bring the ball down, and McCrary just picked up some stuff there that shouldn't have been. This is another bad look when you see that in your quarterback's helmet. But it didn't look like he dropped very deep.
No, it didn't.
I mean, usually he'll take a 5-step drop in that situation.
That was a 3-step.
And that was a short 3-step.
Yep.
And then you take that short 3-step, and someone has to be open right now. And if they're not, you're going to be wearing some grass in the top of your helmet.
Cedar, his longest, 48 yards.
Cedar, just a month or two ago, was coaching high school football. Who would have thought?
He was a running back in high school, however. Here's Aikman back to throw. And throws up the middle, picked off. Intended for Jackie Harris. Corey Harris with the interception, and he is knocked down.
And now the Ravens are getting in a position where they can try a field goal.
They have one. They're out of timeouts. Dallas has one left. Aikman, the interception.
Aikman's going to come here and try and make a play there.
Larry Allen does take him down.
Well, he pantsed him.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Used to do that in grammar school, didn't you? I mean, you were walking around, some guy goes up behind you and pantses you? Or you'd go behind the guy and pants him?
Yes.
Larry Allen pantsed him. But they can still get a first down here and get closer to field goal position.
Dilfer throws it outside to Sharp and gets out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 9 seconds to go.
Yeah, this is turning into one of the real quarterback-receiver combinations. Brian Billick has a lot to do with that, but Trent Dilfer to Shannon Sharp is a pretty good thing.
Field goal units on Matt Stover. Baltimore.
This will be a 47-yard field goal.
He can get it there. They have 10 more field goals this year than they do touchdowns. 11 more. No, it didn't get there. Straight enough, but not far enough. 3 seconds still left on the clock.
So now the Cowboys will take over at the point from the kick. The ball was on the 30-yard line, but the holder was back 7 yards. So they will take it at the 37-yard line. So it goes back to the point of the kick try, not the yard line of scrimmage. But I think that's academic anyway.
I think the Cowboys will just run it out.
Yeah, I would fling one down. I mean, what the heck? Oh yeah, because we know that the half can't end on a penalty, and I would just fling a jump ball down here, and if it's intercepted, so what? If it's complete, so what too? But you're just hoping for a penalty.
They're going to kneel.
He is going to kneel down. You're right. So much for that.
They don't have a lot of guys that they can fling it to downfield.
Yeah, those Ravens were awfully impressive this first half. I mean, offensively, Trent Dilfer and the things that he did, Jamal Lewis running with the ball, and then on that defense. That defense just dominated.
I'll tell you something else that was very impressive in that first half was Jonathan Ogden.
That left side of that offensive line.
To DJ Johnson.
Hey, Rod, you guys played a pretty solid first half. You got a pick of Troy Aikman, set up the touchdown for Shannon Sharp. How'd the first half go for you?
So far, so good. I mean, we're giving a couple drives, but at the end we're making them turn it over. 2 interceptions for us when they had some drives on us, and so far we're playing pretty good. I mean, we can some things better, but 17-0 against the Cowboys right now is pretty good.
All right, good luck in the second half. Back up to you, Pat.
All right, DJ, that's the end of the first half with the score of the Ravens 17, the Cowboys nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue from Baltimore after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Really? All right, and welcome to the Visa Halftime back here in Los Angeles with the full house. Let's get you caught up on the scoreboard around the NFL. Show you right now where the Ravens behind Trent Dilfer.
That's right, JD.
Cowboys at the half. Wow, you impressed with that?
John Madden likes him.
49ers, well, then you got to like him too, right? Charlie Garner, 100 total yards from scrimmage in that. And the Dolphins, Jay Fiedler went out with a pinched nerve. First play of the game, Damon Hewitt's in. Jets are winning by a field goal in that one. Look at this, upset in the making. Chargers trying to prevent going winless for the season, beating up on the Broncos. Vikings impressively 31-17 over the Panthers. Culpepper, Smith, Carter, Moss, you name it, they were all sensational. Denny Green talked with them about the importance of preparing for the game on Thanksgiving Day.
We are 3 nights away from game time. 3 nights away from it. Let's make sure that we take care of it tonight. Excellent job. Turnovers are starting to come. Pass rush is there. Running game is there. All the things that you need to build a championship are starting to come together, all at the same level of intensity. Good job.
Bradshaw reminds me that Denny Green is doing simply an outstanding job coaching. And folks, the Vikings will be on our air on Thanksgiving Day, taking on the Cowboys. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern Time, right here on Fox. Bears defense led the way up into the Buccaneers, who are now 0-18 when the temperature is under 40 degrees. Giants lose to the Lions. Giants now fall to second place in the NFC East. And Philadelphia, by virtue of its victory over the Cardinals, move up to number 1. 8 victories now equals their total victories the last 2 years combined. Saints lose not only Jeff Blake, they lose the game. Jeff Blake and now Ricky Williams. Boy, what a big blow to them injury-wise. Raiders win at 31-22 in that contest. Chiefs fall to 5-6, severely hurting their playoff chances, losing to the Buffalo Bills today in that contest. The Packers were leading 19-0, had to hold on for a 2-point victory over the Indianapolis Colts. Brett Favre, an impressive day for him. Eddie George, 3 touchdowns, and despite 7 turnovers, the Titans up in the Browns 24-10. And yes, it looked like Chris's Bengals may pull it out, but Adam Vinatieri with a field goal with 22-yarder in the closing seconds wins it. Chris, Dallas, Baltimore.
You know, for the Baltimore Ravens, here's a football team that at the beginning of the year, it was easy to predict what they were going to do. They played against a passing team. They were going to struggle. They had problems in the secondary. But now they always have had the great up front 7 to stop the run. But now they're really getting the job done against the pass. Very complete defensive team.
And they have figured out where to run the football, as John Madden pointed out in the first half. Edward Mulatalo and Jonathan Ogden. Jonathan Ogden has the best feet of any big man I have ever seen in professional football. This guy's 6'8", 350, and just wheels on people.
You've seen his feet?
Yeah, great feet. Got
How can you be that big and have great feet? Great feet?
Yeah, he's got great feet.
Got great feet.
If you watch the first half, you know he had local news. Others will be coming back to hear Terry go through his highlights in a moment.
Back in Baltimore at PSI Net Stadium. The Ravens lead the Cowboys 17-0 at the half, and statistics pretty well tell the story, John.
Well, I was just talking to Ernie Zampese out there, and as he said, you know, we've only been able to run for that 12 yards, but you have to keep doing it, even though you know you can't do it because you like to get to the passing, but you can't just go passing all the time. So you can see the problems that the Cowboys are having there, and they really haven't been able to stop the running of the Ravens.
Stover, short kick. Tucker is going to take it about the 16-yard line. And he doesn't make it back to the 25. Right now, again, to DJ Johnson, there's a flag on the play.
Hey, Pat and John, in the first half, Coach Dave Campo said they didn't do a good job of stopping the run. He said the Ravens were able to run the ball at will. They need to do a better job of that in the second half. He said also, on offense, they had too many drop balls and too many costly penalties. He said they have to do a better job running the ball in the second half, and that'll open up the downfield passing. Back up to you, Pat.
All right, DJ. That's one.
Face mask, pulling the bottom of the helmet off the player. 15 yards penalty, number 86 of the kicking team.
That's impossible. You cannot pull the bottom of the helmet off a guy.
That's Billy Davis, who spent a lot of time with the Cowboys.
He was
guilty.
Well, he pulled the whole helmet off.
Yeah, not just the bottom.
No, the bottom. He started at the bottom, and then he just pulled the whole helmet off. So I guess that's kind of a reverse face mask. I've never seen that one called before. You know, if you do it in the front, that's a face mask, and you have the 5 or the 15 yard. That had to be the back, pulling the same thing. It had to be
the back.
It had to be under the category of face mask.
Ravens blitz. Aikman back to throw. Boulware from behind, incomplete.
See, this is the thing that they were talking about. If you can't get the running game going, then all they're going to do is rush the passers. Peter Boulware is here. He's a linebacker, but one of the top pass rushing linebackers. He had a dislocated right arm, dislocated right shoulder for 2 years. He had surgery on it, and it's just starting to feel better. But Peter Boulware is a factor. I mean, he's a factor when he plays on the line of scrimmage, and he's a bigger factor when he rushes the passer.
2nd and 10. Aikman drops. Outside Thomas. That's the way a fullback's supposed to run.
Yeah, and that's the way you're supposed to tackle, too. You see what happens is when the fullback runs like Robert Thomas there and he wins the first part of that battle, then the Ravens get a whole bunch of their friends coming over, and the fullback goes off holding his backside, and he has one sock down.
Lost his sock.
That's Larry Allen here. That's the way that you send the guy out of the picture where he came from.
Now that's how you pick up a blitz.
It was Michael McCrary that he hit on that one.
Or control a stunt in that case. Here's Aikman. And McGarity, who reached but didn't quite make it, I don't think. It's very close to a first.
You know, one of the things that McCrary was trying, we were talking yesterday to Marvin Lewis. He's the defensive coordinator of the Ravens, and he says with Troy Aikman, when a quarterback doesn't run, he said your ends can take an inside entry. To the pass rusher, and I've never heard, I've heard, an ends could take an inside. Remember, Charles Haley was one of the best, but
I know what he means.
Marvin Lewis was saying he can take an inside entry, and that's what McCrary did. McCrary took an inside entry. You can do that. Not going to be first down. You can do that, but you may find Larry Allen sitting there waiting for you.
McGarity and the Cowboys need about that much.
The Cowboys were, 4th and 8 or so earlier, and they went for it. But they had better field position. This time, they're not going to go for it. And I think this defense, you say it's only inches, you ought to go for it. The Cowboys haven't found an area to go for it yet. I mean, if they had something up the middle they could do or something to either side they could do, but they haven't found where they can gain inches inside.
If there's a place in the mind of their quarterback, Troy Aikman, if there's a place to go at them, and it's not a weak link by any means, it's their left cornerback.
Yeah, and he needs James McKnight to stay in the game to do that. He has to do it with McKnight.
Yep. Cantrell back to punt. Jermaine Lewis back deep for the Ravens. Gets off a good punt this time. Fair catch at about the 17. Where the Colts will take over. The Cowboys will see if their defense is shored up over the half. Darren Woodson's in the game on defense for Dallas, but this first carry is by Jamal Lewis.
interesting. Darren Woodson came out. They said he has a contusion. You see, he has that big pad on that right arm.
Cast, yeah.
He came out. They couldn't find his helmet. They finally found it there in the trunk that had been put away. But watch him when he tries to put it on. You can see that he can't use that right arm at all. And he couldn't even strap it up. He went over to Randall Cunningham, and Randall Cunningham helped him put the strap on. So he's playing with one arm.
That's a big pass, or big protective. This is Lewis around the corner. He does have good speed, and Woodson made the stop.
And good size and good power, and he has everything.
Yeah.
And he must have about 120 yards now, but watch Darren Woodson. We just showed that he's playing with one arm, and that one arm is his left arm. But I'll tell you, he's a warrior. I mean, that's another word we throw around too much. This guy's a warrior, that guy's a warrior. But if we talk about the definition, I would put Darren Woodson in that category. I would take him.
That's the first run by Jamal Lewis to his right, starting in that direction, to his right. There he is again. This time hit at the line of scrimmage. Those of you who might have missed how Woodson got hurt, look at him hit
right there.
Yeah.
The right arm and the knee of Jamal Lewis. Then they went in to x-ray it here, and the x-ray machine was broken. Then they had to take him to the hospital. He came out and just walked in, put his helmet on after it was lost, and there's the last play with Darren Woodson. You can see, even though he can't use that right arm, he's still in on every tackle.
He's still in the middle of the collision. Here's Dilfer back to throw, and throws outside. This time to Ismail.
Yeah, I think this Raven offensive line, especially the left side, kind of took control of the Dallas defense early, and now they can do anything with them. I mean, they can run the ball. They have good time, and in pass protection they have plenty of time, and they're just having their way. You look at running left, middle, right. Jamal Lewis 63 yards to the left, 47 up the middle, and 18 to the right.
That offensive line is very big and very athletic. Here's Dilfer looking for someplace to go. Can't find it. Alonzo Spellman from behind.
I think Alonzo Spellman darn near knocked the ball out the first time. Yeah. Did you see him?
Yep.
I mean, he comes right around there, and it looked like he almost knocked the ball. Here's Alonzo Spellman here. Now watch, he takes a bull rush. And when Alonzo Spellman with that strength takes a bull rush, right there, he did knock the ball out of Trent Dilfer's hand. And then Trent Dilfer was able to bring it back, and Alonzo Spellman still got the sack.
Got back up and got the sack.
That's a heck of a play. I mean, the pass rush, the bull rush, getting his hand out there, and then getting up and still making the sack.
McGarity back deep. The Cowboys sent their rush team after it. McGarity signaled fair catch and made it at about the 18. That is before the game, Alonzo Spellman. That is a big tattoo.
That could be someone's leg.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Is that a happy face?
The goose either needs a little less head or a little more helmet.
I don't know if
it just doesn't look like it's balanced on that stuff.
I don't know if they make more helmet.
He was just standing on that line of scrimmage, and he winked at someone in the Cowboy huddle.
This is Emmitt Smith, and there's nothing there, nor has there been all day. Ray Lewis made the stop.
Well, those two tackles we're talking about, I mean, Tony Siragusa and Sam Adams, what they do is they eat up blocks. These two guys here, they eat up blocks, then they free up the linebackers. But just watch how they just hit that gap. You see how they eat up the blocks there? And then there's always going to be a free linebacker when you put two guys on one defensive tackle.
I think Siragusa has been eating more than blocks.
In addition, what else he eats? He eats up blocks.
Emmitt Smith to the 36. Kim Herring made the stop by far. the longest run.
Well, they finally found something in there. And this is what you're going to see here. This is how it looks. You see, they get a good block right there. I mean, that knocks someone off, and then they can just pick off the inside, and then here comes Emmitt Smith. You see, Big E comes in there, and then he goes to the outside, and that whole thing was really made by Solomon Page. That first hit that he made, he just knocked someone out of there and could have knocked him right into his center, Mark Stepnoski, who's
He's down.
That was Dallas's first rushing first down.
Stepnoski still down. Stepnoski headed for the locker room. Ben Fricke has taken his place. First and 10 at their own 36 for the Cowboys. That's Tucker in motion. And that's Emmitt Smith. Emmitt stiff arm, and he heads down the sideline and out of bounds. See if we can see what happened to Stepnoski, John.
Well, you watch Michael McCreary is number 99, and he's gonna come across and he's gonna hit Stepnoski. There's McCreary right there, and watch his left leg hits Mark Stepnoski's left leg. Now watch Stepnoski. He's down there. You see him grab the leg. He grabbed the leg, and as you said, they helped him off the field, and they took Mark Stepnoski right to the locker room. Now, Ben Fricke, the center now, is only 6 feet tall.
Yep.
And that's a lower, so Troy Aikman has to bend down more to get the snap from him.
And he says, there's Emmitt Smith again. Crosses midfield or gets to midfield.
Troy Aikman said when his back was bothering him,
that's the most uncomfortable.
The thing that he couldn't do is get in that stance there, where you have to come up and kind of bend your knees to get down there. And we asked Stepnoski about it last night, and he goes, "Oh no," he said, "he doesn't have any problem with me." He said, "It's my backup he has problem with."
Ben Fricke.
He's only 6 foot, so now he's playing with Ben Fricke in there. And watch how much he has to bend his knees. See how low Ben Fricke gets?
Yep.
Now watch with Troy Aikman. See how he has to bend to get down there? When his back was bad, that bothered him more than anything.
Aikman looks left, throws right, got a man. That's James McKnight right now for another game break. Let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Pat and John, do you think Chris Chandler would like to have this one back? Look at that pass. Hanging up there forever. And guess what? The rookie, Jason Webster, picks it off, takes it 71 yards to pay dirt. It's now 13-3 San Francisco in the third. Back to Pat and John.
17-0 here in Baltimore. The Ravens leading the Cowboys. First and 10, Dallas at the Baltimore 37. Here's Aikman. To Emmitt again. Crosses the 35. Ray Lewis made the stop. Sunday's Best is on Fox. Tonight, catch all the new episodes of King of the Hill, The Simpsons, Malcolm in the Middle, and The X-Files. The new Fox Sunday kicks off tonight at 7:30, 6:30 Central, and on the West Coast, be sure to tune in at 7 for Futurama. Sunday's Best is right here on Fox.
And we just got word that Mark Stepnoski has a sprained left knee and will not return.
They made that decision in a hurry. Here's Aikman. Fires complete. On the way down to Wayne McGarity.
Now that is something. I mean, everyone thinks that Troy Aikman isn't the most nimble quarterback in football, but he was very nimble on that play, wasn't he? He was going down. In fact, when he throws this, I think his body is perpendicular to the ground. Watch him here.
It is.
See that?
Yep.
I mean, he's throwing that off nothing as he's going down. It wasn't for a lot of yards, but there was no loss either.
Third and 4.
He was trying to throw to the left, and he got caught up in his own guy. And had to throw. That's tough to throw a pass from a perpendicular position.
Harris, the man on the move. The handoff is to Emmitt Smith, and he won't get the first down. Ray Lewis, one more time.
It's darn near impossible to run with Ray Lewis in there because you can't get a blocker on him, and even if you do get a blocker on him, he's still so strong. I mean, you just watch how he just takes on, and then he looks like he's going to take on a guy, and then just slides right into the middle to make the play.
That was Larry Allen one he was about to take on, or Larry Allen thought so.
Well, he doesn't want to take on Larry Allen when his shoulders are square, he says.
No. Who does? Cedar. And it's going to be wide right and short. And the Colts keep their shutout alive. The Colts, the Ravens.
And the toughest points are always those first points.
Yep. 17-0. Baltimore leads Dallas. Score remains 17-0. Darkness is settled over Baltimore. There's Dilfer, screen pass to Jamal Lewis from behind by Michael Myers.
You know, anytime you get a screen, you have to get the defensive end down on that side. Remember they tried to get Alonzo Spellman down earlier and he jumped up and batted the ball. Now you're going to see when they try and go to this side that they get Alonzo Spellman down. See, he's going to start right here. Now watch him right here. They get him down. See, they get his hands down.
Yep.
That's all you try and do is get that defensive end hands down so you can throw the screen pass over him.
2nd and 2. Lewis. Cross midfield. Raven first down.
Yeah, if this Jamal Lewis doesn't watch out, he's going to set some kind of record. He's going to go over 200 yards. But watch my two guys right here, the left guard and the left tackle. I mean, they come in and they get that pile. Look at Mutola. I mean, he gets his guy and buries him. And then Jonathan Ogden is so strong. He looks like he's playing like a man just playing in a play yard with little kids.
That's Chris Myers. He outweighs him by 150 pounds at least.
Yeah, but how about Edwin Mulatalo and that block that he had? I mean, those are two powerful men over there.
Lewis. Greg Ellis on the bottom of the pile. But Lewis got yards nevertheless.
We're finding some all-Madden team guys here. I think there's some guys, if you were going to play a game, there's some of these guys you'd like to take with you.
Plus they play on dirt.
Yeah, I'd take that 75 right there.
Oh, yeah.
He's so big, he doesn't even need a lot of shoulder pad. Notice that? I mean, these guys are wearing less shoulder pad and less jersey because that's less that a defensive lineman can grab onto.
Lewis again, chased behind the line, breaks a tackle, stays on his feet, fought for a yard or two.
This guy is running like something. You think a guy that has such great speed, that can, has that speed out of the University of Tennessee, you don't expect him to be a powerful guy.
But he is. And he can catch the ball as well.
He's already gained 146 yards. The most he's had before that.
Look at that average.
27 yards, 7 yards a carry. I still say Jamal Lewis is doing great, but it's these guys over here. It's that offensive line. I mean, I still go there.
Flag, too much time.
5-yard penalty.
We're just asking the Ravens about Jonathan Ogden yesterday, number 75, and they were saying he's already great.
Remains first down.
But over a period of time, if he gets that same temperament that it requires to really be great, he has a chance to be one of the all-time best.
Yeah, he does. And Brian Billick said that. He just doesn't understand big guys. I mean, it takes big guys a while because all their life they're told, don't be a bully. And then sometimes they say it's okay, and some figure that out later than sooner.
Dilfer. Priest Holmes this time.
I'll tell you, I've watched a lot of offensive linemen and a lot of offensive tackles, and Jonathan Ogden has had a bad ankle this year, but I've watched him on film too, so I'm not just saying just watching now, but I think that right now he's the best tackle in football.
6'8", 340, and that may be just a figure they came up with. He may be bigger than that.
He's big. I saw him at a golf tournament. I was at a charity golf tournament, and he blocks out the sun, this guy. I know him.
2nd and 8. Here's Dilfer. pass is incomplete. Dilfer was hit by Coakley.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Dexter Coakley, Trent Dilfer was trying to step up, and just as he did, Dexter Coakley came on a blitz and hit him. You see Coakley's number 52, and he's going to come right in here. You see him come off the block right there. See, and that's the thing we're talking about, clean feet and being able to step up. Here comes Dexter Coakley, and Trent Dilfer can't step up.
Third and long. And Dilfer drops again. This time he has time and throws up the middle. That appeared to be enough for the first down. It appears that they'll mark it back to where the catch was made. It was Shannon Sharp, and it may not be a first.
And then again, we start and we look at the protection. To the left side here, you see he has plenty of time. No pressure from that side. He can get back, step up, look, throw it right down the middle. And then if he's going to throw it in the middle, who's he going to throw it to?
Shannon.
He's going to throw it to Shannon Sharp, who almost dropped it. Went right through his hands, then he caught it with his knees.
Yep. And then got his hands back on it. Yeah. It was a first down.
So as a receiver, you have to have two good hands and two good knees.
Dilfer for the end zone. Felipe Sparks intercepted. That's another good play by number 20.
Well, they went back to that same thing. There is a flag on this play. Remember earlier, in fact, it's going to be against the Ravens, so it'll still be the Cowboys' ball. But remember earlier, Quadre Ismail caught the touchdown
the first one.
Holding, 71 offense. Penalty is declined. The ball was intercepted in the end zone. Touchback. First and 10 on the 20.
But Quadre Ismail got the first one for a touchdown. He went to that well again. Felipe Sparks got this one for a touchback.
The Colts continue to dominate 17-0. The Cowboys had something going the last time they had the ball. 41 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Pat Summerall with John Madden. Cowboys have not been shut out since 1991. Here's Aikman back to throw it. To McKnight.
They haven't played this Raven defense.
No, they haven't.
Since 1991. And that's the frustrating thing is, and it starts, we talk about their offense, how it starts with the offensive line, the blocking and the running, and their defense starts with those three guys in the middle. The two big guys, the two big tackles, and Ray Lewis, and then you can't run, and the Cowboys are a middle running team.
Here's Aikman back to throw again, and throws complete to Jackie Harris. About a 7-yard gain, maybe not quite that much. Ravens are stifling defense, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean they're so big and strong in the middle that you don't have any place to start in there, and then because of that you don't have any cutback either. And you take the Dallas Cowboy running game, and Emmitt Smith's type of running is inside and cutting back, and that middle takes away both of those things.
And that's the end of the third quarter with the score of the Ravens 17, the Cowboys nothing. Fox NFL Sunday from Baltimore will continue after a word from your local Fox station. Back at PSI Net Stadium, the home of the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens lead 17-0. Mark Stepnoski is out, will not return. Ben Fricky is the center for Dallas.
Cowboys have three wide receivers out here on the left side. Now one's in motion.
Here comes the rush. Aikman stands in. How about That one must have just slipped out of his hand. Or he tried to pull it back.
I think it was one of those things where he started to throw it, and then where he was going to throw it, his receiver wasn't going, and he just tried to pull it back and throw it into the dirt. It looks like they're not sure of anything over on this right side, and I think that was it.
Yeah.
I think he started to throw it and saw, uh-oh, that one's not going to work, and just kind of tried to pull it back, and it went right into the dirt.
Barry Cantrell. Jermaine Lewis.
Troy Aikman's one of those quarterbacks that has to have everyone exactly where they're supposed to be, and when they're not, he's a little frustrated.
Lewis stopped abruptly by Pepe Zellner.
That was a stop, and that was abrupt.
Was it ever? If you're in Baltimore and a Ravens fan, it is the season to be jolly. Lewis.
Yeah, this is a pretty good combination. When you can have an offense like this, with an offensive line like this and a runner like Jamal Lewis, where you can just keep pounding and pounding and pounding, and that combination with a good defense can win and go a long way in this league.
2nd and 3, especially when the weather gets bad. Lewis again.
Look at this guy. I mean, he's averaging 7 yards a carry. I don't think they've stopped him much for under 7.
Darren Hambrick with the stop that time.
I mean, every time, the Cowboys are a little undersized on defense, and they're getting taken advantage of here. And then the only way that they can ever stop or plug up that line of scrimmage is when they come on a blitz, and then they open themselves up to other things. But they have to get their linebackers and safeties involved in the run defense.
Dilfer. Lewis again.
Yeah, they just can't play that way and stop this run. And I'll show you what I mean is when you get the two safeties. I mean, here's Darren Woodson back here, and you get them playing back there, and you get the linebackers this far off, and this group here is just so big and strong that they get a run at you. There's no way you can stop them. The only way that they have a chance is they have to get those safeties and linebackers involved. When you have Darren Woodson back 20 yards and running backwards, now they got him coming.
Lewis again, and there's a flag on the play. That's about the only way to stop this running machine that they have.
Yeah, and it's not fair to say it's on Darren Woods. I mean, he's out there playing with one arm, but the point is the scheme is what I'm talking about. I mean, you can't play your safeties that deep, and that time they brought them.
60 offense, 10-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Watch here, you're going to see Woodson is going to come in and get blocked here, but he still makes the play. Here he comes right here in the blitz, and that's the thing that they had to do. I mean, they had to get the pressure, and you either have to blitz your linebackers and bring your safeties up, or bring your safety up, or blitz your safeties, or do something. But now, I mean, he's not healthy, so I'm saying he should be doing it now, but that position has to do something within this scheme.
2nd and 13, Dilfer back to throw. Gets rid of it. Out of the backfield is Priest Holmes.
Here's the thing. See, now they get the linebackers attacking the line of scrimmage. Here's Darren Woodson again coming in from the left side, and you see just holding that right arm by his side.
Tackling with one arm and unable to get the other one involved, and he's back in the game involved.
And then part of it is that, he's kind of the quarterback of this defense. He's their physical and mental leader. And when he gets off the field, you lose a heck of a lot.
Lewis banging away and gets down inside the 25 to about the 21 or 22.
I think Lewis banging away. Look at these crowds. They just know that. I mean, you have to enjoy that when you're a Raven fan, and you guys are just whipping their guys. I mean, there's no way you can sugarcoat this thing. This is just a whipping. Jamal Lewis already 178 yards, averaging over 7 yards a carry, and the Cowboys don't seem to be able to do anything about it.
Well, the Ravens' offensive line is so formidable. Here's Lewis again, cutting back. Knocked out of bounds by Myers and McNeil.
Yeah, this is a lot like, remember the first game of the season we did against the Dallas Cowboys, or with the Dallas Cowboys against the Philadelphia Eagles. Jamal Lewis is doing what Deuce Staley did to him that day. You know, on that last play there, Jonathan Ogden just took like the left side of the line and put it back into the center.
If I were going to cut back, that's the way I would cut back.
Well, he ran outside on this one, but watch him. When he hits the guy, the next thing the guy ends up is where the ball was snapped.
Timeout called by the Ravens. They lead 17-0 and are in control. $17-0. And thank you.
Yeah, the old trombones, huh?
Trombones with a fox on the end.
How do you get as a kid want to play a trombone?
Well, you can't play anything else, I guess. Priest Holmes, the ball carrier this time.
There was a fumble down there. The Ravens got it back, but they're dominating this line of scrimmage all up and down.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about Jonathan Ogden, but Edwin Mulatalo, he's a guy. I mean, just because he's Holmes. I mean, he's from Daly City, went to the same high school I did. That doesn't mean that I'm favoring him. Of course, I would favor him even if he didn't play well. But look at this. On the left side, where Mulatalo is there, they've already gained 100 yards.
This time, Jamal Lewis is hit at the line of scrimmage. Here's some of the runs to that left side of the line. The first quarter.
Yeah. Well, those guys just dominated that side, and you said that this is the first quarter. This is where you start doing it, and then when you get into fourth quarter, this gets a little easier. But I tell you, I mean, those two guys just obliterate that side. Then all you have left out there is a wide receiver in a corner. What a day this guy's having, huh? He's a player. There's a lot of
players out there. Lewis again. Stopped right at the 5.
Yeah, the Cowboy defenses are starting to attack the line of scrimmage. Now remember, and watching the film of last week's game, that's what the Titans did, and they did it better than anyone I've ever seen. They just attacked the line of scrimmage all day.
That win on that last stop.
You look at the Ravens; they have a problem in this area. 14 possessions, only 4 touchdowns. So this isn't one of the areas that they're real strong in.
3rd and goal. Dilfer rolls right. They don't get in again. Ben Coates made the reception.
And now the fans want him to go for it. I think you have to kick the field goal here. But that was a bootleg. They faked the run to the left. And you're going to see the fake the run to the left. Here's Ben Coates here. He blocks. And then as Trent Dilfer comes out here, he sneaks out to the side. And it's just a good tackle that takes him down where he doesn't make the touchdown.
Felipe Sparks
in his second half has made 2 big plays.
Yes, he has.
That one and the interception.
Matt Stover, 19-yard field goal. Good. It's 20-0 Ravens. The Ravens set to kick it off. Matt Stover to Jason Tucker. Back there with him is Kareem Larimore. Those kicks, for the most part, have been kind of short. Back to the 4 is Tucker. Fumble. Picked up by Dat Nguyen, I believe.
See, Tucker has the ball here, and it comes out right there. And it looks like the Cowboys pick it up there, and then it's fumbled again.
Yep.
Then they finally end up with it.
That's Dat Nguyen with it.
Yeah, Dat Nguyen just held on to it. Yeah, he picked it up and held on to it.
The Raven crowd hoping for a shutout. Flag on the play.
That was on the Cowboys. They jumped before the ball was snapped.
False start, 76, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Lozelle Adams jumped early.
Yeah, he's playing against Michael McCreary over there, and McCreary has a lot of speed. And one thing you know, when you have a speed rusher, you have to get the jump on him, and you're always worried that he's going to get the jump on you. And sometimes you start getting out of your stance before you have to. See Big Goose in there. He's still playing the run right here. He's going to play that run tough, eat up blockers. That's a good pass rush.
Ball deflected at the last second. Chris McAllister got the hand on it. Rolling Stone calls the fox hit Dark Angel instantly addictive. From Academy Award winner James Cameron comes an all-new episode of Dark Angel. Tuesday at 9/8 Central after all new episodes of that 70s show and Titus right here on Fox. Big Goose comes out.
Well, Big Goose got a pass rush on that thing. I think he started out as a first down play. I think he played the run, and he got that 340-pound going, and it went right back into Aikman.
Aikman back to throw it. Drops it out to Chris Warren. He gets out of bounds. Got a couple of yards, not much.
And the Cowboys are going to have a tough time. I mean, they're struggling here, and then they have to fly back to Dallas tonight and then start getting ready tomorrow for the Thanksgiving Day game against the Minnesota Vikings. That's a load in 1 week. In 1 week, or within 4 days, to play the Baltimore Ravens and the Minnesota Vikings. That's cutting your workout for you.
Of course, Minnesota has to travel, but they played earlier today.
Third down conversions, Dallas 1 out of 9.
Yep. Here's Aikman back to throw.
Good Baltimore defense.
Almost picked off, intended for, that's Kim Herring.
Very good Baltimore Raven defense.
Yep. Very good.
Yeah, this isn't easy for Dallas, but I mean, they aren't going anywhere anyway, the way they're playing. But they have Minnesota, then at Tampa Bay, Washington, the Giants, and then they end up on Christmas playing Tennessee. But I think that's academic anyway. If you don't start to win some games, it's kind of so what. And I mean, this Cowboy team is just a skeleton of their former selves when they were
just a few years ago.
Just a few years ago when they were a dominant and championship team.
Short kick by Cantrell. Bearcat signal for by Jermaine Lewis close to midfield. 20-0. The Ravens over Dallas. Wade Wilson, Nick. Pat Summerall and John Madden. We're in Baltimore, 20-0. The Ravens lead the Cowboys. 1st and 10. Trent Dilfer. Can put another W in his column, it appears. Lewis. That should get him pretty close to 200. That was Priest Holmes, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, whoever they put in there, I mean, that combination of Lewis and Priest Holmes, and just keep pounding those guys at you, there's no way. I mean, they just look like they're too big, too strong, and too fast for the Cowboy defense, and they just can't hang in there. They just can't handle this.
Lewis getting a rest.
He deserves
well deserved, yes.
I mean, he's done whatever he had to do to get the running game going. He's done.
It's Priest Holmes, the tailback. And he gets the carry again. And whoever they put in there, as you said.
And it's just, Edwin Mulatalo again and Jonathan Ogden just took that left side, I swear, and they just put him on the other side. And then he just cut back. If you watch this, again, just watch what these two guys do. Right here and right here. These two guys here, they'll put this side here, and then the ball can come back to this side. Just watch it. Right there, the way they get this whole thing going here, they just collapse that whole side in there, and they take what lined up on the right side defensively, and they end up where the left side lined up defensively.
Here they come into the Cowboy blitz this time. Priest Holmes again, the ball carrier. That offensive unit, that offensive line has done a whale of a job today.
Yep, and look at that. I mean, they've rushed for 237 yards, average 6.4, and they've allowed 2 sacks. So they were fired up. I mean, they came ready to play. Oops, I don't like to see this. The guy who's been a heck of a player today. You're going to see him. He's right here holding. That's okay. He's out of Daly City. And you see he gets, again, his own player from the back rolls up on him.
That same thing. That was Flynn that rolled up on him.
Yeah, Mike Flynn, the right guard. And that happens so often. You don't see that where you're blocking, and that's a second or third time in this game where stuff rolls up behind you that you don't even see coming.
That seems to be where the knees are injured most of the time. Dilfer drops it out, and a catch by Stokely. A flag on the play. A penalty marker down. It's against the Cowboys.
That was Brandon Stokely, and he just laid out. I mean, Trent Dilfer did a good job of throwing that ball, where you throw it where either your guy's going to catch it or it's going to be incomplete.
Pass interference, defense, number 47. Penalty is declined. First down.
Oh, against Ryan McNeil.
Stokely's number 80. And there's a holding right there. But watch where Trent Dilfer throws that ball, and Stokely just dives out and catches it. Now watch here. Now watch Jonathan Ogden, pass protection here. I mean, he's just so big and so strong. There's no way his guy is going to get to Trent Dilfer.
First and goal. Priest Holmes. About a yard.
You know, one of the places that I think Brian Billick is a heck of a coach, and one of the places I think he's wrong is he was telling us yesterday that you can't work too much on goal line, because if you look at a whole season, he has this all computerized. Yep. You only get 8 or 10 snaps, so goal line's not that big a thing. I do not believe that. Well, I believe the goal line is a big thing, and I think that you get more shots than 8 or 10 in a year.
The figures don't indicate that he's correct.
Or the play, I mean, they have trouble when they get down there. I think I always put utmost importance on doing this.
Priest Holmes adds a touchdown to the Colts total, to the Ravens total.
They've had complete domination. It started out where this left side again, and we started talking about it early in the game, and they started doing it early in the game, and then at the end, Priest Holmes could just walk in there and show the Cowboys the ball. But this Ravens thing was all about offensive line dominating and starting early.
Stover's extra point is good. And it's 27 to zip. There's Art Modell.
Yep, talking about Art Modell, the longtime owner of the Cleveland Browns, and then coming here to Baltimore. When's the last time you were here, Pat?
Gosh.
As a player?
I guess in the championship game in 1959. I came back as a broadcaster. This is the last player.
And what happened there?
When were you here last?
I was here last. It was a great game, but this is when the Colts beat you guys 31-16
in the championship game,
and you scored all the points or a lot of the points.
10 of them.
Now you want to know my last one?
That was my question.
Yeah. This was one of the great games that gets lost in history. It was a playoff game, and it had everything. It had defense, it had kicking, it had running, it had passing. It went 6 periods, and we finally beat them with that play in the 6th period, 37-31 in 2 overtimes. That was a great football game. That when you talk about great football games, sometimes it kind of gets lost.
How did you get back to Oakland?
What do you mean, how did I get back to Oakland?
Did you fly?
Yeah.
In those days
I flew.
Yeah.
We went right in the locker room. We were here in Baltimore and, in old Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
We went in and watched the second game and watched Denver win, so we had to play them in the championship game.
I remember reading about that you went back in the locker room and watched the...
Yeah, that was how you really couldn't spend a lot of time, celebrating. We spent 2 minutes celebrating. Like, oh, well, we won 6 periods, and we're going, okay, who's winning? And then we're watching Denver, and then we had to start getting ready to play the Broncos. We lost that one. And
lost to Denver.
Yeah, and then Denver went and played Dallas in the Super Bowl that year, and Denver lost to Dallas.
In the
Super Bowl.
I did that game. It's Tony Banks, who began the season as the Ravens quarterback.
Well, I see Edwin Mulatolo's up, so that's good news. He's up standing on the sideline and kind of jogging around. He does a Tonga dance that he's going to do for us for the All-Madden team. He did it as a rookie. And as a rookie, he did this dance and had to chant and everything. And it was so good that they brought him back. And this year is his 2nd year. They had him do it again at training camp with the rookies.
I gather that means he's on the All-Madden team.
Of course he is.
Aikman's throw is to McGarity.
And he deserves. I mean, he is. I mean, as I watch film and we watch and talk about him. He was the guy. If you were going to play a game, you'd take him.
Yes, you would.
If you were going to do something, you'd take him with you. You'd want him on your side.
And if you could get Jonathan Ogden next to him, you'd really take him.
No, we take him too. Yeah, we'll take him.
Pass is picked off by Ray Lewis, deflected and intercepted.
Ray Lewis, remember how he got him fired up? There's the old dance there. Remember how the day started? The day started with Ray Lewis and the whole team, and he was talking to them and telling them what they had to do. Ray Lewis, the goose. There it is right there. Oops, look at that. And then Ray Lewis comes here and makes his play.
Deflected by Rob Burnett. Aikman hit him in the head with a ball, I believe. 1st and 10. And Priest Holmes comes out of the pack, and he picks up another 1st down.
There's Ray Lewis there, and remember before the game?
Yeah, sure.
This is how the day started.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! Game time!
Raving about the defense, and there's reason too. And I don't know if that's the way you get the guys to play, but whatever it takes to make them work like that.
It got the job done, no question about it.
It sure did, because we talked about how the offense dominated, the defense also dominated right from the beginning.
Tony Banks is now the Raven quarterback. 2 minutes to go. Celebrating on the Ravens side of the field, that's Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp knows how to celebrate, both with his body and his mouth, doesn't he? Now, he's a good guy. Very bright guy. Good player.
Priest Holmes gets the carry.
Here's the All-Madden ballot. Lewis, Ogden, Turducken, Sharp. That sounds good. Rookie of the year, Jamal Lewis.
Sounds good.
And I'll tell you, it is time to round up the turduckens. And we're doing that. I'm having the turducken made. You know, I mean, the turducken, that's what we do is we get one of these turkeys.
This is for Thanksgiving Day.
Well, we're starting to work on them. See, checking the legs, how many legs, see how many legs. You kind of start counting legs, looking legs, big ones, little ones, 4, 5-legged, 6-legged. We're looking for that. I think, see, a lot of them are volunteering right now to be chosen for that. But the turducken is you stuff a chicken in a duck and then stuff that into a turkey. And we got the turducken. The turducken's going to be down there in Dallas.
Like a delightful dish.
Oh, it is. Well,
I know it is, yeah.
I mean, then you slice it all in the whole thing. I mean, so you get, you know, chicken, duck, and turkey. And then we got the regular turkeys and the whole thing. This is always one of my favorite times in football. I mean, I can see that right now isn't a favorite Dallas Cowboy time. The first time they've been shut out September 15th, 1991. But this is when the games start to become meaningful. A little frost on the pumpkin, good hitting weather, and Thanksgiving and football and turkey, and these Ravens are pretty good.
Yes, they are. And the Goose knows how to celebrate, I guarantee you.
Well, the Goose is going to have a party. He has a tailgate. He was telling me yesterday. He
caters it.
Yeah, he has a catered tailgate out in the parking lot after the game. Trent Dilfer's a new guy.
Another win for him.
I think right now he's found a home here in Baltimore.
Baltimore 27, Dallas nothing. Total domination, really, by the Ravens. We'll be right back here in Baltimore.